When it comes to Sister Sarah, Bucky always brings the store-bought cake. This is spoilers. I don't know if that's like sexual or not, but it just sounds sexual to me. I don't know.
It's not as sexual as store-bought pie, but you know.
Why couldn't it have been a pie? You're so right, Brett. Why couldn't it have been the pie?
It's Disney Plus.
Yeah, that is true. That is so true. Well, welcome everyone. Today we are spoiling. What do you guys want me to call it? I could call this thing 1,000 different things. Can I call it Captain America and Winter Soldier now?
No.
Isn't the word punch in there? Falcon, Winter Punch, America.
Yeah. I mean, something. I guess. I mean, this show changes titles between season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, is there going to be a season 2?
Yeah, is that confirmed?
Well, the thing is it a season 1 again because they changed titles?
No,
yeah, come on. It just calls it a miniseries, so I just
the way these Disney Plus shows are going, they all feel like one-offs. Just kind of like hold you over till movies start happening again.
So do you guys think that's what's happening? This is kind of like the filler in between like movies?
Or they're putting it out there, taking the temperature, and then deciding from there which way to go.
This just says a 4th Captain America film is in development as a continuation of the series.
There you go.
I mean, what do you guys think about, like, I've heard people talking about how, like, Marvel almost has to create a universe where people don't have to watch every, like, little series in between the bigger movies.
I think it's the polar opposite.
Well, I think it is. It is right now, but like it's unsustainable for most people, including me. Like I have not been able to keep up with everything. I still haven't watched like some of the Spider-Man movies.
Well, how do you feel watching it? Do you feel like you understand what's going on, or are you like completely out of sorts?
It varies, I would say.
Jordan, what about Zemo? Because that's like a good, I think, barometer.
Jordan loves Zemo.
Like where you're at.
I'm a big Zemo guy, trust me. But no, it's more of like it's like the little like references that I like see on social media later that I'm like, well, I didn't read the comics. I haven't watched every movie. I don't know if I really understand what's going on. Probably like 30% of the time, at least.
Do you know Sharon Carter?
From the movies only, but like, wasn't there like a CW show with her?
I think you're thinking of Agent Peggy Carter.
Peggy. Yeah,
she's
that's
the
her
same person.
Broker.
See, that's the thing. It feels like it needs to be broken up in some way. Like
power broken up.
Ah, man, you beat me to it, Josh. Nice.
God damn it.
I mean, they can't do that now. They've already had like the 30 movies that are layered on top of each other and series. Like, you can't start making stuff just stand on its own. I don't know. Just feels like it's too late for that.
I brought up Zemo because like I didn't watch Ultron. Is that what he's from? And like I've never seen that movie.
It's the worst one. You're not missing much.
But
no, he's not even from Ultron. He's from Civil War.
I haven't seen either of those, and
Civil War's good.
I get who Zemo is in an instant. Just like when you're reading a comic book, you don't like they purposely just like jettison characters in there that you maybe don't know, but there's enough like traits that like are so cliche that I think it pops into place pretty quick.
Like what, Josh? What's cliche?
Well, they make a joke of it, right? He always has like the head tilt thing whenever he's like outsmarting you. He head tilts and like tricks you or something.
He reminds me of the villain from the Mission Impossible movies now. What's his name?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
No, Mikey. Mikey, you know what I'm talking about.
Mads?
It's not Mads.
Sads?
He has a beard.
The Penguin.
And he talks just like Zemo.
Christoph Waltz?
No.
I don't know. Oh, the guy from the one in the desert?
He's like from Fallout and from like
Is he red hair?
No, he actually looks quite a bit like Zemo. Let me see here.
Zola.
Xenu.
Zola.
Xenu? I think Xenu's right.
Xenu. I don't know. I've never seen the movie, so.
You've never seen Mission Impossible?
Is that a
movies?
Superman character?
What
Just
an
one of
edit
them.
that's going to be, that little section of time.
People love it, man.
His name is Solomon Lane, that guy.
More like Solomon Lame.
I gotta look this guy up.
Jordan,
Oh, thank you, Stevie.
I know that you haven't been keeping
yeah.
up with the movies a ton, and it's hard for you because you have a very busy life. But
Fuck off.
like, to me, I don't know if you felt this way, but like, did this almost feel like filler to you instead of like its own original show? Like, this series felt like complete filler to me versus like a standalone story that also connected to other things.
Are you talking about Wanda?
I didn't think Wanda was filler. I thought Wanda was like a completely told story. I feel like this was just a very much holdover series. I don't know about you guys.
And Wanda, I felt like had more effect on like the world at large of the MCU rather than this did.
Because they brought Vision back? Because there wasn't really that much else that connected to like the wider world, was there?
Yeah, I mean, there was Wanda's like power up, like.
Well, I also think that the power up at the end, I only knew like the significance of that after listening to other stuff and like reading about how it's supposed to link into the next movie. So, Stevie, to answer your question, like, yes, I agree. It does feel like filler, but again, like I was saying earlier, I think Marvel could lose a decent amount of people that just don't care to or don't have the time to watch like every series and every movie within the thing, because it becomes like a self-referential. I don't know. I mean, it's a good story and I like it, but it does seem like it could lose some people along the way, I guess, because this is like filler, but it's also relies on you having seen other stuff.
I have an analogy for you, Stevie.
Hit me with it. Let's go.
I don't know. I'm kind of speaking out of my butt because I don't know what Anthony Mackie's like contract is here, but this seems like the owner of the Cowboys saying Dak Prescott is our man. Like this whole thing is like the backstory to the new Captain America, and I'm guessing, like Brett told us, I don't know if that was before the pod or not, the next thing is going to be a Captain America movie out of this, and I'm guessing they're going to want to make a trilogy out of that, and then he'll be a main character in the next like mega event down the road. Like, is that where this is all going?
I hope so. I feel like they're gonna branch off a ton of different stuff with this. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Marvel came out with either like a Suicide type Squad show and or a movie with U.S. Agent leading the way. Mikey's boy Wyatt Russell.
Captain Fascist.
What'd you make of Captain Fascist, Mikey? Did you like him in this show? Because I thought his arc was amazing.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character. I've never heard of U.S. Agent before, but Wyatt Russell is... I like Wyatt Russell a whole lot. I like him in Overlord, and he's great in that.
That
but
movie's
he's more
shit.
of a hero.
Yeah.
He's more of a hero type in that. And to see him be a bad guy was a really interesting take. And when he kills that guy, it's pretty brutal. And the whole show just kind of like flips on its head after that point. I thought it was very interesting. But I'm surprised that like he's... I don't know. I have seen pictures of now like U.S. Agent in like comics and like, oh, this is like a guy that's running around. He's not like a bad guy, it seems like. I don't know. He's just like
it's kind of an anti-hero
to Captain America.
I love when he's unhinged.
Yeah, he's a scary guy.
I mean, what do you guys think about the lawless or the law? I don't know, like the morality of him killing that dude, because like by all accounts, all those people are in a fight to a death there. He caught that guy down and like, I don't know.
He stopped him, and then when the guy was pinned down, he took his fucking head off. So like, you know, a little bit of a Captain Walker police brutality, I think, right?
Yeah, I was seeing like analogies of like, oh, this is what it's like when America goes over and like tries to start a war in the Middle East or whatever, just occupying places where they shouldn't be and kind of like setting up camp there or whatever. It's just like he's like all of the bad things about America. It's just like personified. And I think it was very interesting that that's kind of like the theme of like most of the show was we're like leaving behind Captain America. We don't have anybody who was worthy enough to take that mantle of Chris Evans, Captain America, and this guy tries to force his way in there and does it and it does a terrible job of it.
Yeah, as soon as John Walker gets that super soldier serum, the next thing he does is kill a man.
Yeah. Yeah, fucks up almost immediately.
Touche on that, but can I be devil's advocate here? They're fighting to the death, and like, what is he's supposed to apprehend this super soldier and take him in?
He's
like,
a super soldier too.
Yeah.
That's what Steve would have done.
First of all, Captain America is bonking the shield off of everybody's head. All of these people would be dead. Like, you can't take a vibranium shield to the skull and then just walk away. So it's like, I don't know. Like, you got to aim for the legs, and he's just bouncing them off of people's head.
Stevie, I was like continually thinking about Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I don't know about you, but Captain Walker, we the waiting ones. Everything mocked, everything membered.
Korey's accents are actually pretty good. We need to bust those out more.
Brett,
Did we do introductions?
actually, this has been a fantastic intro, but I think this would be a great segue, Josh. You're right. Because Korey had an awesome idea. Actually, I think it was Jordan. Maybe, I can't remember. But let's go from east to west. Introduce yourselves. And what is the proper bedtime for you guys? And what's the least amount of sleep you can get and still function the next day?
Sorry, where are we starting?
Let's go eastest to westest.
All right, I think I'm eastest. My bedtime, Stevie,
Proper
is that what I'm
bread
trying
time.
to? Bread time.
Papa bread time.
Usually try to be, tucked in by like 11. And
cookies and milk.
Brett just busted.
It sounded so funny.
I don't know, the least amount of sleep I can get and still function, probably like 5 hours, but that's not sustainable. I would probably bash someone's head in with a shield if I only had 5 hours regularly.
Jeez.
Yeah, probably like 6.5, I guess, is like the actual minimum. Yeah.
This is Brett, recording out of Fort Wayne. On weeknights, work nights, we usually go to bed between 12 and 1. Wow. And on weekends, we usually go to sleep sometime between 2 and 4.
Damn.
And then the least amount of... When we first moved here, we were like so stupid. We were going to bed at like 1 o'clock and getting up at 7 o'clock to go to work, and we were doing this like every night. I told my brother that, who has kids, and he looked at me like I was smoking crack. So,
how do you live? What about your circadian rhythms, dude?
I don't know what.
Dude, you got to stay up late beating those Aladdin games. The shit ain't easy.
Amen. And I kind of like what Joe said. I could probably go off 3 or 4 hours on a work day. It's not sustainable at all. I'm already pretty cranky. Yeah, just stay out of my way if I'm getting 3 or 4 hours. But I have a person I work with who like never stops talking. So yeah, I don't know. 3 or 4 hours, and that's my weird schedule.
I think it's me next, Josh from Goshen. My mom calls this trait our family has the Schultz gene, like her maiden name. Some old German family where I guess they just like to sleep a lot and get real grumpy in the morning. And I definitely have that pretty strong. So I can buck up and do like a couple hours sleep and like do stuff if I really have to, but I think everyone's onto the same thing. At some point you're going to crash. So, yeah, Josh from Goshen.
Mikey from Goshen. Yeah, my I work night shift, so I don't get home until like 12:30, but I can't just fall asleep when I get home, so I'm usually up to like 2:30, and then I wake up at like 8, so it's like 6 hours. But I don't know, like during the day I'll work out and then I'll take a nap afterwards, so before I go to work again, so it's almost like cheating a little bit. But
what do you do to work out, Mikey?
Mikey working out. Look at this guy.
Yeah, what's your like routine?
Okay, John Walker.
What do you want me to go through my whole? I do A bunch of stuff. It's different like every day.
You're punching stuff?
Bench press 600
Sorry.
pounds.
I throw my shields at a tree, and then I do flips and catch it, and then I just repeat that process over and over again.
Then boom, Captain America.
Yeah. But yeah, on weekends I'll be at work even later than that, and I don't know. I don't need a lot of sleep, but I am also able to nap before I go to work again, so I'd say like 6 hours.
This is Korey, Kylo Ren memes. I sleep about good 6 hours, sometimes less a night, but every couple weeks I need like a solid 12 hours uninterrupted to make up for it. So,
Dang.
That's me.
Yeah, Korey, I think you and I pretty much have the same schedule. This is Stevie recording from Elkhart. Typically 5-6 hours a night during the weekdays, and it's like once every other weekend or so when there's nothing to do, and I just have a free opening where it's like, okay, I can get a solid 10 hours of sleep, 11 hours of sleep, and I feel like that just makes up for it for the entire week. But quite frankly, I can probably do 3-4 hours a night and still function the next day pretty solid, but I cannot sustain that by any means.
It's a fool's errand.
I know. But like,
Can't dance like Zemo after that little sleep, You got to get those Z's.
But like,
No
You're in
way.
the club.
It's
12 hours. Good. My back would be hurting from just laying in bed all day.
But like, the worst part, I mean, it's not the worst part, but like, I don't know, Josh, if you experienced this, but like after you have a newborn, it's almost like you get this newfound energy where it's like, when they're screaming at 2 or 3 in the morning and you gotta do something, you just kind of recover really easily. Josh, you that way, or you're still just grumpy the whole time?
He's always grumpy.
Josh, why are you so grumpy?
Oh, man, I have an amazing wife, and for the last few years, she's been stay-at-home while I have been working, and that's been amazing. So she honestly takes care. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that's like, oh, I'll never change a diaper. I change diapers all the time. And
Are you that dude where like the baby's screaming at night and you're like, baby's crying, go get it?
no, but I'm the deep sleeper. And Trace is like, well, he has to work, and so she's really cool and goes and gets him. So
She's right behind you, isn't she?
she's not, but I'm gonna have to direct her to this episode. How sweet.
Brett, I was going to ask you this question because I feel like you've seen a lot of thrillers and action movies in your day. This was kind of a pet peeve of mine. I don't know if you felt the same, but did it kind of bother you that they told the story in complete like order?
No, I mean, it's kind of like a throwback a little bit. It's like everything's so, everyone wants to be like non-linear. I don't know, it just kind of seemed like a throwback. It was almost kind of refreshing, I guess, but I didn't really notice it that much.
I don't know.
I'm okay.
Maybe it was just me, but like with the whole Sharon Carter thing, like I think anybody could see that coming from a mile away. And part of me wishes that like the build-up for the entire series would have been like the Mexican standoff in the parking garage on the last episode.
I got in trouble when I said that, by the way.
I don't think it was that you said, Brett. I think you
Then I
said
said Irish people were better. And
you
then
said the
that got
French.
edited out.
I think you said the
Let's
French
not-
were better
no.
than Mexicans.
Can we please
It
not
was
get
during
into
District
that?
B13, yeah. I just
Brett
messed
was
around.
wrong, and we've moved on. Gosh.
Oh dear.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I
Let's
just
say enough.
I was just kind of wishing that, like, with kind of, I mean, even with Winter Soldier and the Captain America movie, part of me wishes kind of with like a thriller, even a spy genre, even like with an action show like this, they would have started in different spots, even if it just been for like a minute or two, like on each episode, and it kind of would have been a build up to there throughout.
Can I ask a question though?
Yeah.
You or Korey, like someone like me or Jordan has a very like scratch the surface, I think, conceptual knowledge of who Sharon is. Like, she's kind of a double agent. She's like the powerful bad person. Is that what I'm getting here? Can you explain that a little more thoroughly, maybe?
What was like the last movie she was in?
Civil War.
Yeah.
God, how long ago was that?
A while.
2016?
It takes a while. Yeah, it was a while ago.
2017, maybe? I can't remember. But it's been a minute. But, I mean, so Josh, yeah, she was betrayed by the country that she loved and fought for. And pretty
Russia?
much... yeah.
She broke the law.
How'd she break the law?
I mean, she broke the law. I'm not saying it was right. And it stinks. She's probably bitter because everyone else got like, oh, free pass, but not her. And I get it. But yeah, she helped fugitives escape, even though they weren't really fugitives. They were only fugitives for Hydra, who were bad people, so.
Korey, can you just sum up her arc in a nutshell? Like, what's going on with her? What's the deal?
In this show?
Just a big overhead perspective. Like, who is she?
So she was a agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she was kind of undercover posing as Captain America, Steve Rogers' neighbor in one of the movies. So there was a reveal in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was Winter Soldier, yeah.
Yep.
Where like, oh, she's actually an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was pretending to be his neighbor just to kind of keep an eye on Steve because S.H.I.E.L.D. just wanted to keep tabs on Steve. Anyway, later on, S.H.I.E.L.D. gets infiltrated by Hydra, and she is one of the main agents that like rallies a group of actual S.H.I.E.L.D. agents against the Hydra people so that Hydra just doesn't fully take over. So she was kind of like the true and blue S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She was the one that was kind of on Steve's side to make sure that Hydra didn't just take over the world, basically. She was one of the big stopping forces in that regard. So it is supposed to be pretty surprising to see her turn like this. But at the same time, after giving it some thought, I can kind of understand why. Because she was so fucked over. And after so many years have passed, she's just like, all right, this is just what I'm going to do now. I'm going to be a power broker.
And she is Steve's grand niece? Is that right?
Whoa.
I guess so.
Don't they like hook up in Civil War?
It's a tad weird.
Well, like, doesn't Steve like almost ask her out in Winter Soldier or something because they're like neighbors or whatever?
Yeah, and in Civil War they kiss.
Ugh. Weird.
I think they just forgot that when they were trying to repair the timeline. It's very strange.
It's not worse than Luke and Leia.
It's like how Daenerys just forgot.
Nothing like that.
Going forward, I mean, she who's going to be like the bigger bad, her or Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character?
Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. That sounds
Evil Elaine?
Madam Hydra?
I don't think Agent 13 Sharon is going to be like a big bad at all in the MCU. I think she's going to be a bad, but I think she's going to somewhat ride the middle. She's going to be kind of a chaotic neutral.
I was going to say, is she going to be bad, or I just assumed she was going to be like an anti-hero kind of.
Chaotic neutral.
Well, we've already seen breadcrumbs of Falcon being very reticent to he's always looking for the good and wanting people to turn themselves in. And that's kind of the main plot line, but with a different character.
So I don't know if you guys have seen this online. What if it's not Sharon at all? What if it's the Skrull?
Yeah, I mean, Skrulls are going to be a more major part, apparently, if the murmurs online are to be believed. So I guess anything's possible with someone being a Skrull.
Scrunt.
Skrull!
Skrull!
Oh, man.
What if Matt Troll's a Skrull?
Dude, don't talk about our patrons like that. What's a scroll? It sounds terrible. What are you saying?
It's an alien that can shapeshift.
It's an alien that can. They're shapeshifters, Josh. Have you not seen Captain Marvel?
That's why you have to see every fucking movie, Josh. Every movie.
Gotta see every movie, man.
Why does that bother you so much, Jordan?
Movies are fun.
No, it doesn't actually bother me. I'm just saying that there's... I don't know. I guess it depends on how far down you want to dive with it. But Korey's talking about Skrulls, and I have seen Captain Marvel, and I barely remember which race of aliens those are.
Okay, since this has been kind of a hodgepodge anyway, a few weeks ago, both the Hulk and the Spider-Mans were off Disney Plus. Is that like something that's going to happen off and on? They're going to keep losing Spider-Mans, and then like, are they just kind of like trying to forget the Hulk?
We're all trying to forget the Hulk.
I think the Hulk was released by Universal. Is that right?
Really? Oh,
I think Norton's Hulk was released by Universal.
God, that's bad.
Is that like kind of like it was with the live actions where they owned them, but they didn't own them yet? Or like, I think it was Universal, like had like 2-year contracts on them or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess my sister wanted to know, so maybe I'll look into that.
Because, I mean, was Ed Norton's Hulk on Disney Plus?
I mean, it wasn't a few weeks ago, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. It's part of the story.
Yeah, I mean, it is technically part of the MCU, just like the Spider-Man movies are, which the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are done by Sony, but they have an agreement with Marvel. That agreement's going to expire after the next movie. There's some very complicated things with the characters that were like licensed out to other studios, namely the Hulk, which Marvel can't do a standalone movie by themselves for the Hulk, as far as I understand. And, of course, Spider-Man. There was some issues with Fantastic Four as well, but they bought Fox, so that handled that.
That's the only reason they bought Fox was to get Fantastic Four, because those movies are just so good.
Yeah, where are those movies at? Are those on Disney Plus, or did they block those away in the Disney
think
vault?
they're like at the 7-Eleven dollar bin. Just
the Tim Story Fantastic Fours, don't even bother. I mean, Fan Four Stick is really the worst one of the bunch, but
Fan Four Stick.
All right, sorry about that tangent, guys. I appreciate the answers. I didn't mean to derail.
Is the 2003 Hulk part of the series at all?
No.
Or is that where you draw the line?
Oh, stop that. Don't even bring it up. Stop.
I know that movie is so bad.
That's like with the other Spider-Mans. It's like a different thing.
Just asking a question.
I saw that in theaters and thought about walking out. That's how bad that movie is.
Stevie, that movie turned me off to superheroes for 15 years.
Stevie, what did you do when you walked out of the theater? We were 13.
He drove home.
Just went to Hacienda.
Me and best friend Drew Rockland saw that in the theater in Chicago, and we were so pissed off leaving the theater. Like, we could have done so much else in Chicago. Dang it.
That movie isn't part of the MCU, but Nick Nolte is. Nick Nolte is very integral to the MCU because of that movie.
Did you guys think this show could have been a little more focused? Because it felt very, like I said, filler and breadcrumby. Would you guys have liked it more if it was a tad more kind of straight focus, or did you like how all over the place it truly was?
I liked most everything about it. I mean, I wish I didn't care that much about the philosophy of I thought they tried way too hard, them in general and Sam. I mean, I always kind of thought it was stupid, and I've seen people criticize it. Like, at some point, I mean, that girl is just not a good person. Like, you can say, oh, it's this, but like, it's the whole ends justify the means. I mean, she's a freaking murderer.
yeah.
Even her friends were like, whoa, bro, you're getting a little weird.
Exactly. And then at the end, he's like, I get the whole point. The speech is pretty cool at the end, but like, he's like, don't call them terrorists. They're literally a terrorist. I mean, like, by definition, everything they've done is terrorism. So whether you think they have good intentions or not, like someone said,
One world.
No, what he's saying
one
is
world, yeah.
don't just give them a name and then, yeah, that's it. Like, they're terrorists, whatever, they're evil. I mean, he had a really good point that, like, if we want to address this problem that's creating it, we have to, like, understand what is actually going on that's driving them to do this. And then that's what we have to address. We actually have to help people instead of just say, you know what, they're terrorists and that's it. I mean, I'm sure you got that too, Brett, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with most of the speech. I mean, again, I also think it's kind of it's a bad situation. I mean, I just watched a movie about people took over a city and then they got beat, and then the other people came back and like people were living in their houses. It's like, these people aren't bad, but it's not your house. I don't know if that made sense, but like, it's just a bad situation. But we're such a 180 world, like, something goes bad, we like to do 180s. So that's kind of what they were doing. It's like, well, we're not going to find a common ground. We're just going to kick these people out. So I get it. I get what you're saying, but my more thing was stop trying to save this woman. She's just a bad person, in my opinion. So
for me, I could have done without the like flag smasher stuff. I was really hoping it was more just about actually. U.S. Agent or that Wyatt Russell character turning into a bad guy, and then Bucky and Sam going to beat him or whatever, and then he becomes a bad guy in the end. That's what I thought it was going to be about. But I thought the girl who plays like Carly Morgenthau, I thought she was great, but I just could have done with like a more streamlined Bucky Sam fighting Wyatt Russell.
Take 50% of the flag smasher stuff out, and I would have liked it more. Because
I was just like confused, I guess, on a bit of that plot point stuff. I was just like, okay, well, what is this leading up to? Or what are really... I mean, she's obviously a bad person, so it's like either just defeat her and let's get to the Wyatt Russell stuff, or let's... I don't know. I was just like kind of over it, kind of like 3 episodes in.
I think flag smashers were strategically put there to really show off Sam's new armor and like new shield and like what he could do. Like, I mean, it's really strategic, like, especially like the flag smasher that's like flying the helicopter. Like, it's really just to honestly show like Sam's new tech. But I'm with you guys. I really could have done without the flag smasher stuff. I just, what I was hoping this would have been kind of like a coming to grips story of, I mean, it technically was, but of Sam accepting his place in the world as Captain America. And as well as like Bucky and Sam's relationship, because these are 2 of Steve's best friends that could not be any more polar opposite from one another.
But were you getting some major like insurrection vibes from this too? When they're like, we're going to disrupt this vote on January 6th, and we're going to have the shaman with us.
See, I didn't even know what the vote was about. I was like, okay, but what are they voting on? I feel like that wasn't explained very well, unless I just wasn't paying attention.
I feel like that wasn't explained well at all.
That's the problem with the flag smashers in the story, is that they're a little unclear, I think. It's not that necessarily they're executed bad. I think they're executed pretty well, but the explanations of things is so like cursory gone over that like you don't fully get it with all the things going on in the story. So therefore you're not like the vote, right? Or they had someone like in their party that like died. There was a funeral and it's like, who is this person? Is it going to become a thing?
Mama Rosa.
Yeah. So like... It's said very quickly, I think, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's like the mother figure to them, right?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Were they orphans?
I don't know who that lady was supposed to be. I don't know what that funeral was about.
One world.
I think that was a mother, like the mother figure to them, and probably raised some of them and helped them through their whatever. But yeah, that was like... I remember thinking, whose funeral are they going to? Are they going to Carly's? I mean, I just remember being super confused, but I don't know. Vote or die. Stick a knife through your eye.
Mama Danya, I think is that character's name.
Yeah, I did not like that storyline at all, but Korey, one storyline I quite enjoyed was kind of about a super soldier that was left behind. Did you like that storyline?
Isaiah Bradley,
my man.
That was, I think, one of the better executed things in this series. It's just really, like, nice how they work in, like, these comic stories like that. Because, every MCU property has comic book tie-ins, but none are, like, directly from the page. Like, Civil War is called Civil War, but it's not, like, directly from the page. It's related.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with this. Isaiah Bradley. Truth is the name of the comic. Red, White, and Black. Which is a comic I read a long time ago. And I really like it, although the art in it is very strange. But, yeah, I do quite like having this idea of, like, yes, there was another Captain America, too. But he was black, and he was not treated as well, to say the least, right? I mean, it was really, like, moving and tragic, his story, I think.
What's the artwork like?
It's almost like they tried to do 60s style Marvel, but it was in like the mid 2000s. And that's like when I think the art of Marvel started getting really good, but they went back to the art style that I hate, like that old style.
Will we ever get to see him like kick ass, you think? Or is he done?
I think he still kind of wants to hide.
Yeah.
I think it would be awesome if they did a miniseries or movie on his backstory.
His origin.
That would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
All right, so Korey, say they cast it. Who's your truth?
Who's my Isaiah Bradley?
Yeah, who's your Isaiah Bradley?
There's a dude that I really like, and I forget his name, so it probably doesn't sound good, but he was already in a Marvel movie. He was in Black Panther.
Michael B. Jordan.
Not Michael B. Jordan, but I
M'Baku?
think he's great. The guy from Get Out. The lead in Get Out.
Daniel Kaluuya?
Yeah.
Oscar winner.
Oscar winner Daniel Kaluuya. That's right.
I actually like the idea of M'Baku. I can't remember his name, but I like him too.
He's really good.
But you got to pick someone who's not been in the Marvel, which is hardly anybody at
Pick
this
someone
point.
that didn't win an Oscar less than 24 hours ago.
You don't know his name.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Oh, yeah, there we go. He's a little too scrawny for that.
How about Michael Jai White? He's awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty
he's
cool. He's a little
too
old,
much
though.
trouble for... He's messed up, dude. He's also old.
What's wrong with Michael Jai White? What am I missing?
I like Michael J. White. He's just kind of arrogant.
Oh my God,
guess
Brett.
heaven's-
He's old. He's
Brett
arrogant,
loves that
he's
word.
messed up. You're going hard in the paint on this dude.
What, like having 7 black belts is hard? Yeah, he's a pretty legit
Did he like
dude.
rear end you or something? That's
No, he's not a very good actor.
he broke check Brett. That's what
He's not
led
a
to
very good
this.
actor.
Brett's giving him the whole Clapton treatment.
No, I too was disappointed by Spawn, so I get it.
You can be disappointed by Spawn, but Black Dynamite is a masterpiece.
I just meant he's bad in The Dark Knight. He's not a good actor.
Enough from the clown.
I saw a movie. The first Purge is terrible, but I really like the lead in that. His name is Elon Noel, and he kicks a lot of ass in that movie. He's very good. And I thought he'd make an awesome Blade, but I don't think Marvel has the balls to do a hyper-violent Blade movie, so...
They are doing Blade.
Oh,
They're
really?
casting...
R?
I don't know if it's R. That's a good point. Because it probably should be R, right? But they're casting the Green Book.
Oh, Mahershala?
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't hear it, but Mikey specifically said hyper violent.
Yeah, I need them dancing to Rob Zombie and then everybody
Yes.
getting murdered in a bath of blood. That's what I'm talking about.
Kung Lao shows up, does a fatality, and says flawless victory.
For those who haven't seen the first Blade, the intro is absolutely stunning and amazing. Please go and watch that.
We need to do that.
I guess kind of want to end the episode on this. We've been all over the place. Say they make a season 2 or season 1 of Captain America and Winter Soldier. Where would you like this? Where would you like to see this series go?
All John Walker all the time.
The Fascism Diaries.
Yeah. I want to see him going in with good intentions, mission after mission, getting twisted, almost teetering off the edge, and someone barely saving him, and then just riding that line out for an entire season.
I think that would be very interesting, but it would almost be like riding the line of, is this propaganda? Do we do we need this like as a Marvel property or whatever? I don't know. I think he's I don't know. For me, I wanted to see just a Bucky thing. Just Bucky as a
Same.
Winter Soldier killing everybody. And I've said that a lot of times in the thread already, but I just think he's so cool. And when he was just a rogue mercenary, just killing everybody for, what, Hydra? He was pretty awesome, pretty
I
powerful.
mean, we got a taste of that in this series, right? We got
Yes.
to see the flashback, which was amazing.
Yeah, it really was.
I'm with you, Mikey. I love seeing him like in full-on crazy mode where he's just unstoppable.
No.
Yeah, but it seems like they really just kind of, they're past that now.
He'll get there.
He's been nerfed.
No.
I feel like they put so much work into like, oh, Bucky is struggling so much with the Winter Soldier thing, and then he finally resolves that part of him at the end. Like, we're never going to see Winter Soldier stuff.
The more people he kills, the more he has to walk around like Elliot Smith or like Manchester by the Sea. Like it just sucks. I want him to become a more balanced dude and just be like a friend. I like that character more than like sulky Bucky, who's also a mass murderer. I think that's less interesting.
I think we saw it a little bit in Madripoor, where he was like pretending to be controlled by Zemo. I think Bucky looked a little different and faster during that. And also in the finale, when he was pulling the doors off the trucks, it was kind of like, I read it as like his internal struggle between like going into that crazy mode, being able to use full strength, and also being somewhat balanced, because we haven't seen that Winter Soldier since Winter Soldier. I mean, it's been for absolute ever, because like you guys said, he was unstoppable when he was just wearing a mask and killing people.
I have a question that kind of ties directly into that, because the glaring flaw that I wish they would have dwelled on more, I think could have been really interesting, is like, why did Bucky and Falcon not embrace this new Captain America? Like, he gave the shield away and someone else is chosen, and I feel like if they would have just backed him and like helped him in any sort of way, I don't think it was very well explained why they just completely dissed him, unless it's just a bad character choice by them, I think.
I'd say it was the right choice.
Weren't they pissed off because Sam gave the shield back with the intention of like they were retiring it, and like a week later they come out with like, hey, here's a week later they come out with white Captain America again.
Make the shield great.
He's just some random dude and they know it, and he's just trying his best at the beginning.
He's also a douchebag.
Yeah, I think because at that point like all we know about this soldier is like he was a great soldier and he was like top of the top, like highest standards, and had a great track record and everything. And it is a little weird that they didn't, I don't know, they were pretty dismissive of him like right from the start. And whenever they interacted, they were just kind of like jawing at each other.
I don't know. I mean, later Sam like tries to like talk to him like, you made a mistake, like it's okay, we just need to like figure this out. But it's probably too far gone at that point because he
makes mistake after mistake after mistake.
But Stevie, going back to your point, it's tough for Bucky, I think, because like to bring his character back to full force, because that first movie that he was in Winter Soldier was so good, and it was like a genre spy thriller, and I don't know if they'll be able to like go back to like a movie like that where he can be such a badass and it can be contextualized in the same way.
Yeah, I would love another spy type thing with Bucky.
I would like to see him turn it on again with like the right motivation, you know, for like the right reason. I don't know if we will see that, but I think it would be great. I had a question for you guys though. Like, this series brought us something that the comics bring up a lot, and that's people trying to recreate the Captain America Super Soldier serum. Did you guys like seeing like the more super soldiers, or were you like, no more super soldiers?
Less is better for me, but I mean, it made it interesting because that was kind of one of what's his face's Russell's arcs. Is he was a super stud, he was awesome, but you know, he knew he couldn't beat the super soldiers, and then he got really devastated when he lost to the Black Panther guard. So I don't know, just kind of all just
such a baby in that scene. She wasn't even a super soldier.
I mean, I think it was interesting to see at first, but I was a little fatigued from it. Like the third time they brought it up, it's like, how many super soldiers? I mean, they could have honestly done like 3 or 4 super soldiers. And I felt like they had so many of them, I was like fatigued by them at a certain point.
Why didn't Zemo want one?
What's that?
Why didn't Zemo want one?
It's against his whole thing, his whole principles.
I mean,
right?
It's what created the Avengers.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But it could have made him a better criminal.
I agree with what you guys are saying, though, about getting tired of it, but it leads to that cathartic moment of all those vials getting, like, smashed underfoot. That's pretty great to see. It reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the ooze and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Oh, secret of the ooze.
It wasn't slime,
pod,
it was ooze.
every single pod.
What the heck?
Bring up
It's very...
stupid movie.
I mean, that was kind of taken from Marvel, but from a Daredevil comic. But I think like the super soldier thing, it's like good they tackled it in this show, because it's not the kind of thing you want to see in like every Marvel movie. Like, oh, they're trying to redo the super soldier serum again.
It's a great point.
Like the way it is in the comics. So like, it's good that like they tackled it here. It's like a done thing. I mean, in Marvel, the super soldier program is like, it's like the Jurassic Park franchise. You know, like you had one really good super soldier, and then you keep trying to like do it again, and it's like, fucking just stop. Okay, like there was one, it was special.
And all of a sudden you get the super serum brought to you by Jimmy Buffett.
The thing is, we're talking about the U.S. government's super soldier serum. They're working on that. You know that they're working on that, and they're trying to jack up every soldier in the U.S. Army with that thing. There's no way that there are thousands more vials.
That was their goal. That was the goal at the beginning, and then all that serum got taken, so...
Well, Korey, this is spoilers. What happens with John Walker in the comics? Like, what's his general arc?
And John Walker, I have no idea.
He's a douche.
Dude, he's so cool.
Major doucher.
He was, like... Definitely not one of my favorite parts. I know how you guys love him. That's cool.
I love the scene when he's like that wide shot of him and he's named the super agent or whatever the hell it is.
U.S. agent.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm back. And he's like boxing himself or something. I don't know.
And he's like shadow boxing. Like, I don't know. I think I like John Walker's character a lot because I thought he had a great arc to him. I know the serum.
He had a good arc.
What's that?
He did have a good arc.
He had a great arc.
I thought he was a douche.
Lamar was so cool.
I did like Lamar.
I don't think this is the last we're gonna see of Lamar. But yeah, I thought John Walker's character had a great arc to him. He was a douche in the comics, a massive douche. I like the way they brought him up in this series. I wish he had held on to the shield a lot longer than he did in this series. I thought him just having it for 1 or 2 episodes was kind of lame.
Do you know what happens to him in the comics then?
He's more along the lines of an anti-hero. Think of kind of like a patriotic Daredevil.
Okay.
No, not patriotic Daredevil, patriotic Deadpool. I mean, yeah. Think of him along those lines.
So he's never he never goes full bad.
He was initially in the comics, yeah. He tried to kill Captain America.
Well, you'll have that.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have that.
We'll try.
But, I mean, this is why I think he's probably going to get his own movie. I really think that. I think they're going to start introducing a lot of these kind of anti-hero, are they good, are they bad characters in the next series. And I think Wyatt Russell will probably get his own U.S. Agent Suicide Squad type movie.
Some more villain-focused stuff would be pretty cool to kind of like tread into.
I think that's what we're getting next.
How do you top Thanos, though?
I know, but like we didn't really know much about him other than that like one scene of him conquering a planet with the green girl. That was kind of like our whole backstory into Thanos, I guess.
Yeah.
We didn't really know a whole lot about him.
There are some pretty cool villains we could tap into. Like luckily for them and unfortunately for them in the future, the Infinity Gauntlet storyline is just so good. And I mean, they got so much out of it. I mean, Galactus is a good villain, but they've not done very well with him in the past. I mean, it's like,
but
let's make him a Mist.
The changes they made from comic to movie for Infinity Gauntlet were so great. I feel like they could, with good writing, they could definitely make Galactus work, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's a cool villain. He's super powerful.
I mean, they did him perfectly in Rise of the Silver Surfer already. They don't need to do it again.
Stop.
Are there any other main villains you think might be coming down the pike?
I was trying to think of the...
we got Jared Leto's Morbius.
Yay.
He's kind of an anti-hero.
I want to see. I'm like obsessed with the Beyonder, but he is like the most. I mean, he's like literally like the second or third most powerful being in the multiverse. So like, I can't imagine them bringing him in. They brought him into the cartoons a little bit, but he's just like uber powerful. So I can't imagine they bring him in. But I mean, you got like Mephisto. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him.
Yeah, the thing is, like, when I'm thinking of Marvel bad guys, I'm only thinking of Spider-Man bad guys, and they're so like charismatic and awesome. Like,
right, but they're also not like
they're not powerful.
taking over a multiverse.
Yeah, they're just trying to take over NYC. A district of NYC.
It's like, move to LA, dude. Spider-Man is not there. Go somewhere else.
They've got so much time to build up to a new like big bad. The first run was 12 years or something like that. Longer?
2007 to whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they said Endgame came out like a year ago or 2 years ago today, so.
Something like that, yeah. I feel like it was 2 years ago, but they've got time to like build it up again. It doesn't have to like show up in, what'd you call it, Stevie? Captain America and Winter Soldier season 1, episode 4.
It'd be season 1 of Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I just want to see a whole movie on the Flag Smashers. I mean, I think we all want that.
Maybe I'm wrong too, but I feel like Galactus doesn't have like a bunch of character like Thanos.
No,
he's just kind of like a chess piece.
Probably not.
Eating planets.
Eating worlds.
Yeah.
But he literally can turn into whatever he wants, so.
I was going to say, isn't he just like humongous? How would that even work scale-wise in a movie? Like, he's just as big as planets. Like, that would be awkward.
Punching his big toe, like
that'd just be kind of awkward to do in a movie, I guess.
Yeah.
They need to bring in Magneto and the Brotherhood of Mutants somehow.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's also already been done, like, ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the MCU, man, they're trying to kill Homo sapiens, and Avengers got to stop them. There ain't no X-Men yet.
Who's that character in Thor that's like Thor, but he's not? He has a way different name.
Hercules?
No, he's like Bullet, or what's his name?
He's in the movie, or
No. He was in the comics. And he's also in the shows too. He looks like a bird version of Thor.
Oh, he was Thor. Beta
Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill.
Yes.
Other Thor.
All right, you guys ready for some yes or no's?
Yeah.
All right, this time let's go Weeses to Eases. Korey, I'll start with you.
All right. I'm going to give it a yes. I thoroughly enjoyed this series. I think it would be better suited to binge rather than watch week to week as I did. It just seems to be like a continuing story in the way that a movie is. Compared to WandaVision, which was the last one where, it was very much intended to be semi-episodic by nature, just due to the nature of the way the show was formatted. But I really like this. I Captain Walker, not the Mad Max version, but John Walker was great. I mean, he's a bad guy for most of it, but I loved seeing him. I loved like the way he interacted with them. I liked seeing Falcon come into his own, and I guess I especially liked at the beginning, it kind of has a question, and it's like, what do these two Avengers do? We just pluck two Avengers out. What do they do when there's like not a Infinity War going on? Like, one of them has like financial hardship. He basically is unemployed. Like, there's no money in being an Avenger. And then the Winter Soldier is dealing with all his trauma and just like trying to make his way as a man out of time, but also with a very bloody past. And I really like that aspect of it, but I enjoyed it all the way through. Good action scenes. They spent all the money on this. It was a good show. Yes for me.
Nice.
I'll give it a yes. I liked it a lot. I thought the action was great. Yeah, I think we just spent a little too much time on the Flag Smasher stuff. If that's going to be my... Well, I got two gripes with it. One, the Flag Smasher stuff, and then two, I know the new Captain America outfit is like comic book accurate, but it's like, come on, bro. Like white, pure white, and he's bumping up against the helicopter. That thing is already brown and gray and stained. Like, you got to choose a different color. I don't think that will last very long without extensive dry cleaning. But yeah, I thought it was great. I think I just like Bucky too much to be like, yeah, I want to see more Falcon. I've never found Falcon to be that interesting of a character, and I don't know if that's like a bad thing, but I don't know, he's just not very interesting to me. But I thought the show was good. No, I thought like John Walker was a more interesting character than Sam has been in all of the movies and this TV show that he's been in, so I'll just give it a yes. I think Loki's going to be definitely more entertaining for me, though.
Josh from Goshen. I'm pretty sure Brett said that Falcon was his least favorite MCU character in a WandaVision episode, so...
Yes.
I don't know.
Just joking.
You're just projecting. Projecting?
Hey, why don't you focus on yourself?
Definitely giving this season a yes. I'm a new fan to Marvel. It's keeping me interested. I will say maybe I'm teetering a little more on the edge because like the way this ended was a little cheesy with him landing in like the middle of the city and giving like a big speech that like changes everyone's mind or something. I guess it's comic book-esque and you can admire it for that, but it is a bit cheesy. I like when they go cheesy sometimes, like the museum for Captain America, like the old Steve Rogers, and then when they add Isaiah to it, like that museum at first I was like, oh, this is so cheesy, and then I was like, this is exactly how it would look in a comic book, and I just thought it was really cool. Falcon and Bucky are kind of pieces of crap for not sticking up for Captain America when he's put in some tough situations early on, and they really messed up that relationship, I think.
Wow.
But yeah, big yes for this. Yes.
Brett. Yeah, this is a big yes for me. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm kind of with Josh. The scene where he, in the middle of the street, give a speech, that was very Captain Planet-y. But, and, you know, it's not like I didn't think Russell was a good character. He just, like, every time he was on the screen, I was like, oh my God, this guy's so lame. But, also, he got the worst looking parts from both his parents, so it kind of sucks to be him. But, you know, whatever. He's probably rich, so. I love Bucky. I think it's kind of dumb that they work the whole 6 episodes to change the Falcon to the Captain America and not change the Winter Soldier to Bucky Barnes.
Agreed. I noticed that too, man. Yes.
What a missed opportunity, because the whole 6... Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole 6 episodes, he's building to be Captain America. It's like what is slow arc, and then it's the opposite for Bucky. He's trying to get away from the Winter Soldier. So, I mean, again, it's just a title card. It's not. It didn't even have to like lead to anything. It could have been a cool nod to Bucky. I love Sebastian Stan. Yeah, nice. Falcon's like my least favorite, but I thought he was pretty dope the last 2 episodes, and he came a long way for me. He's only just kind of definitely mostly my least favorite character instead of like way down. No, I'm just kidding. He was cool, man, but Bucky is the man. I wish like the first episode where they focused on Bucky like that, I wish there was like way more of that. But you know, that wouldn't advance the story. We had to get to the Flag Smasher, so it's a hard yes for me. I really, really liked it.
Yeah, this is Jordan. It's a yes for me as well. I do think we've talked about like some of the flaws and stuff. I think like the focus could have been messed with a little bit. Like take out the Flag Smashers and make it more about John Walker versus the 2 main characters, or the Power Broker and Stevie's boy Helmet Zemo. There's places where they could have done more, and if anything, I think like make it a longer series and like lower budget and like explore their backstories, or not backstories, but like their, like Korey said, like their day to day, like what do Avengers do when they go back to normal life when they're mostly just regular guys in a way. So it's a little scattered in that way, but it's a good watch. I agree that it would be better binged. We actually binged the first 3 episodes in a row, and we're like, it really slows down when you watch it week to week. But yeah, it's all out now. It's a good, like 5.5 hours or so to spread out over a weekend. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a really hard yes. I thought this was incredibly ambitious of Disney to try and do, for the simple fact that like one of the biggest moments, over 20 some odd movies involved Steve Rogers and Captain America, and to try and pass that torch so quickly, I thought was incredibly bold. I enjoyed kind of the play between Bucky and Sam, and kind of how they started off hating. It's almost like a buddy cop film. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They started off hating each other, and they became friends over time. It's like a great action movie. It's like 3 great action movies all rolled into one. I didn't love the Flag Smashers thing like you guys, but nonetheless, it gave us a story that we needed. Even if this is filler for future movies to come, I still really enjoyed it. So hard yes for me.
It's like I think after the first episode, I think it's something Mikey said in the thread that is super true to me. Mikey said something along the lines of, how do you follow up like an amazing, mind-bending 23 movie, and then like Disney just freaking is bringing it right now with like these shows are just really killing it. And it's like, it just kind of shows, like you always like to talk about how good of a company, how amazing Disney is, and like they're just killing it, man. Like it's like, how do you follow that up? And they're doing it, man. I mean, I don't know if they could sustain it, but they probably can, because they're just amazing at these shows. Have been 2 big pluses for me, and I'm really looking forward to Loki and all that stuff. So
too big to fail.
Well, it's like you said, Brett. How do you follow up, Captain America being able to lift Mjolnir and, holding the shield and also releasing lightning from the sky? I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys remember, like, when I was in the theaters, my theater erupted when that happened.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw every Marvel movie in theaters and never heard, like, a reaction like that. So, incredibly difficult to follow up, but they did. So, there you go. Josh, what do we have coming down the pipeline for spoilers?
You notice we talked an hour about that series and we never mentioned the Torres character one time.
Well, he's coming. He's going to be the next Falcon, all right? Let it breathe.
Cool.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's going to be the next Falcon. He was
the
like
rumor.
at the end listening to that speech, he had all of like Falcon's like gear and parts like spread out across the table.
That was Hispanic Miles Teller, right?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going to be the next Robin.
Throwback.
All right, this is what spoilers has coming down the pike.
Oh man, that actually hurt me.
As we're recording this, we're recording this on a late April full moon night. Three Ninjas just came
Pink
out.
Moon, Super Moon.
Yeah, it's huge. 3 Ninjas just came out, so that's a funny episode. Listen to that Bradisode. We have a Patreon request that it's snap, but we always bleep that out when we say it, which I love. So hopefully, I think Pappy's actually editing this episode. Hopefully, he'll edit that out. I have a confession to make. This is the first time this has happened in spoilers for me, but I lost my audio track for Jack and Jill. And Pappy was going to edit that, but now I'm going to edit it and use the hijack, the backup records.
Oh, man.
So it's going to sound kind of shitty, but Jack and Jill's still going to come out.
We can redo the whole thing. Let's just redo it. I'll watch it again.
Please, I'm going to change my yes or no.
Jeez, and here's one thing. We don't talk about like sponsors or that much, like that kind of stuff very much, but you can support us on Patreon, and there's probably the best Patreon episode we have so far, the Mad Max episode. It's Stevie's favorite movie of all time, the host of this episode.
Fury Road.
Yes, Mad Max Fury Road. We covered it. Stevie's favorite movie of all time. It's one of our best pods of all time. It's just a really good time, and you can only get it on Patreon. It's like $2.99 to be a stauncher.
Yeah, and you should do that. You should do that for free.
Soon.
What, Brett?
So you could be a stauncher for free, but you know, you might as well. Never mind. I got nothing. I'm still in pain from laughing.
Stevie, it's a good thing to support our show, right? It's worth it.
It's a fantastic thing. I mean, when you combine all the movie knowledge we have on this pod, I mean, we're a great listen. So why not support us?
Hey, and for all the people who dislike me, hey, good news. On our Patreon, they don't even ask me to do any of this stuff. So, I mean, I was the first one to watch Sound of Metal. I didn't even get asked to do the pod. So, guys, if you hate me, support us. Please.
I wasn't on it either, Brett. It was only Pap and Steve.
Were you asked to be on it?
Subscribers
No.
up by 25%.
Wow.
Oh, well,
No,
then
I wasn't
Mikey
even
knows
asked.
what I'm talking
Brett
about.
free Patreon episodes.
Yeah, I mean, that's worth $20 right there.
Hey, you pledge enough and you get to choose a movie that you want reviewed that Brett specifically won't be on.
Yeah, say, I don't care. Pick a movie. Brett's not on it.
We had that discussion at one point. Should that person be able to choose the cast that's on it? And we're like, no, that's like too far.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Oh my God, Brett, that's too funny. Oh, well, I have like tears in my eyes. That's too funny. Thanks for listening. Brett, I'm sorry we didn't ask you to be on Sound of Metal.
That's okay, man.
Oh, please support. You know what? I'm not even going to say please. If you want to, support us on Patreon. If not, go to iTunes, leave us an awesome review or a terrible review. Just let us know what you think of our podcast. Thank you for listening. That was Spoilers.
Special thank you to our patrons: Matt Troll, Brother Brian, Druid King, Nick. If you'd like to request an episode, hear your name read by Spoiler Man, or even just help us make podcasts, please check us out on patreon.com/spoilerspodcast.
Everything mocked, everything membered.
That was Spoilers.